What's going on, great friends? Happy Friday, you guys. It is finally Friday. You guys have made it through another week of the new year, and that is now we have to look towards the weekend. I got a lot to talk about. I got Trey in the studio. You guys are watching us from the Stream Yard studio. All right, you guys. I mean, this is the Stream Yard studio. Can't get any better than this. If so, please let me know. At least let me find out. It was cool. I just want to share this before we get out into it. StreamYard held a little convention. I was unable to attend it yesterday due to work in our show, but they had added some new features, which I think we're gonna try to incorporate inside everything that is being done. For example, uh, Trey. By the way, just give me a nod in the studio. Do you hear? You hear that noise? You hear the noise? The music? Yeah. So this is a new feature on StreamYard called Loopback. So if you want music to play in between you talking, let's say you're gaming or something like that, it plays. And it's just on a loopback. And so while you talk, it'll die out and then it'll kind of pick up. And you could adjust the volume. I think it's pretty cool. I like it. We're gonna try to implement it. So that's that. And then you all guys also saw in the settings they just added this a new layout. You could kind of crop yourself into the screen, and I thought that was pretty cool too. So there's a whole nother reason. This is why I love Streamyard. So Streamyard is the home of the TNC Sports Talk. I would highly recommend checking it out. You guys, come on, and giving it a try. I mean, they have a bunch of new features, and it's all within a click of a button. So really, you don't have to do much to get things going. I want to give a shout out to Placeit. Create your mockups, logos, and videos through Placeit. So Placeit's by Envada, you guys. Placeit.net is the place to go. Give them a free trial. If you're looking to create mockups for your merchandise, or you're looking to create your own logos or videos for any of your social media accounts, that's the place to go. Also, like to give a shout out to Canva that makes our little commercial breaks videos. It's actually going to be able to get a chance to actually get Trey's reaction on how these videos are. I know he saw a couple of them earlier this week, kind of changing the dynamic, and I want to get some feedback. So, also want to give a shout out to Epidemic Sound. Discover your world class artists, composers, bands. Find your perfect soundtrack and give your social media accounts the music they deserve. Epidemic Sounds is a licensed music and noise effect link, and I would recommend if you guys are looking for the perfect non copyrighted music or sounds for your videos. Epidemic Sound is the place to go. And then last but not least, stream elements with one click of a button. Easily create and start selling your merchandise. It's that simple, you guys. You go on, it's absolutely free. You sign up, you start putting your merchandise on the products that they provide. Click publish. They create their domain. You send customers to there. They will make them to order, ship them out to the customers, and give you your profit. So streamelements.com for more information. All right, we just getting started here in the studio on this Friday. We got halfway through our week. It is the end of your week, you guys. What are you guys doing this weekend? Are you guys busy? I mean, there's a lot of divisional games. I know we got GCW pay-per-view coming up tomorrow, so I'm excited to talk about some of that. I know Trey's excited to talk about some wrestling, talk about some Bengals football. So there is a lot to go on in that 2 hours without further ado, and that starts now, right here on the J and Trey Podcast. Great friends, welcome on this Friday, January 21st, 2022, where we bring you another episode of the J and Trey Podcast inside the Stream Yard studio. A couple things to get out of the way because I know Trey the champ is ready to get involved. We want to thank everyone who's watching us on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Also, leave us a comment down below. This is our main source. We want you to get involved. Get involved. Leave us a comment. Make sure it's appropriate, please, because we want to share it to the world. We want to open up the conversations to everyone, get people involved. So tune in to us. Leave a comment. Be a part of the action. If you guys can't watch us, that's A-OK because we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts also at TNC Sports Talk. So there's no way. Hey, you're at the gym, you're cooking, maybe you're out and about in the car. Tune us on audio platforms. Okay, no reason to miss an episode. Hey, we're 5 days a week now too, so there's a lot of us. I don't know if you guys are getting sick and tired of us yet, but um, if not, we do have social media platforms also that you guys can follow us and stay in tune and all that complete circle: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, as well at TNC Sports Talk. Trey, did you get a chance? What's the deal with the TikTok? Because it still says JJ Talk Show.
TikTok.
No, Twitter.
Yeah, it's actually I can't figure out how to switch that. I've actually asked Courtney. We're working on it. Hopefully, it'll be
Because it
fixed
says
as
the
soon as
JJ
possible.
Talk Show still. I
Right.
would like to get. I think you got to submit in a request, I believe.
Yeah, and I'll have to figure out how to do that.
But gosh, man. But hey, listen. Unfortunately, we don't have Jake here today. He's done. He's a very busy weekend for him. So I know he's talked about it a little bit over the week. Not going to go into details, but I know Trey and I, we want to give a quick shout out, give our prayers, wishes to everything that he's doing, everything that him and his family's going through. We want to see him on the other side. So take care of yourself out there, Jake. Also, and we look forward to seeing him hopefully sometime this weekend, if not next week. Trey, I'm going to bring you in the studio. We got a busy week for us ahead of each other. What's going on, man? Good morning. Look at you all decked out, fine and dandy.
I'm all bangled up today. Now, originally,
Even though the game's tomorrow.
I have Courtney's boss coming over today. Now, he's a Steelers fan. I'm just doing it to, make him mad, but, and also to make Jake mad, but obviously he's not here. So, and, now we have a game tomorrow.
Yes. We will talk about that game. Hey, let me ask you. Well, you had it perfectly fine. You had everything perfectly fine. You're in the camera spot, and then I think so. I'm like playing around, and I changed the format. So this is the new layout, right, where you could kind of see the background still, and I put that up
Yeah.
there, and you could still see
Oh,
your face, and I like that compared. So let me change it back just so that you could have a comparison. And for people who don't know, this is Streamyard, us shenanigans fooling around. So this is what it is. You know how it kind of cuts off a little bit of your chin. Well, I go
yeah.
back in and I'll put it basically you're cropping the background with the background in it. And now you have you a little bit more of you in it. And I like that a
Huh.
little bit. Keep the background going. Let us know what you guys think. Do you guys want me to have them on full screen or do you just want me to have them like with the crop background? I think that's pretty cool. That way we're not um doing anything that is we can still keep pop-ups for you and you'll be able to talk especially.
Looks good with
Man,
me.
it's been a long week, sir. You have not been on for a while. You're gonna get a chance to see our commercial breaks live in action. I mean, I want to get your authentic, results on that. I also, you missed out on a great interview. But man, it's gonna be a busy weekend because we got a show today, we got a show tomorrow, we got Juice on tomorrow, by the way, which I know you're excited
Mhm.
about.
I'm very
So.
excited to be talking with him tomorrow.
Let me ask you this: is there a delay on your end?
No,
No,
what
you're just
about
slow to
me?
respond this morning.
Yeah,
No,
there's no
there's no
delay
delay.
with me. What
Well,
about
I mean, I
me?
want to. there's no delay for you. You speak right on the dot. I just don't know because you're having a slower response. I don't know if that's just
Yeah,
because you're waking up. It's because you're
still
waking up.
waking up. I'm waiting on
Well,
my
okay. Why don't we do this to wake each other up? I think this will be a great way to wake each other up on this fine Friday morning. You know, I love to come up with interesting stories and non-stories, and I tell you about this a little
hmm
bit last night. I found this yesterday, and I kind of just gravitated. I couldn't stop listening to it. So you know the old famous song "Jack and Diane."
Yeah.
You know the song here. Let me, and for people who don't know, I'm
hmm
just gonna play this the actual once it wants to load here.
Little ditty about Jack and Diane, two American kids growing up.
Yeah, you've heard of that song before. Really
Yeah,
old classic, probably one of my favorite old time songs ever. I could listen to it all day long.
definitely.
Well, so there is this video that I came across on, like I always do, and this was a parody from the Jack and Diane song, and I came across it yesterday, and now I just can't stop listening to it. So
hmm
it's about chili dogs.
Chili dogs. Okay.
Chili dogs. Do you like chili dogs?
Doesn't I do? Does it
Whether
make
it's
you crave
Skyline
them?
chili, huh?
That doesn't make
Uh,
you crave chili dogs.
I would recommend listening to this version before determining if you want to crave a chili dog. But
I'm ready
I think
for
this
it.
is pretty cool. All right, here's the parody version of Jack and Diane. I can't say the quote is sucking on a chili dog.
Oh,
Hold on 1 second. The audio wants to play. Slow YouTube. Slow morning, you guys. There we go. Oh my
Sucking on a chili dog, sucking on a chili dog, sucking on a chili dog, sucking on a chili dog. Sucking on a chili
Okay.
dog, sucking on a chili dog.
It gets better.
Sucking on a chili dog, sucking on a chili dog.
Here we go.
Chili dog. Sucking on a chili dog. Sucking on a dog, sucking on a chili dog. Chili. Sucking
Look at
on a
Trey's face.
chili dog. Sucking on a dog, sucking on a chili dog. Sucking on.
All right, what do you think so far?
I mean, if you only want to hear chili dog, then go for it.
I mean, so it's a parody. I mean, I guess you could kind of say you could kind of I mean, does lyrics even matter to songs like these? I guess because he's making it work with like 5 words.
Definitely.
It gets better
Doesn't-
though. It gets better. There's a little bit more. It gets better. So here's my favorite part of the song.
Sucking on chili dog.
All right.
Sucking on a dog, sucking on a chili dog. Sucking on chili, sucking on a dog. Sucking on a chili dog, sucking on chili dog. A little ditty.
All right. That's the version of that one. Yeah, does that make you want a chili dog at the end of the day?
I mean, sounds good. Now let me ask you this: you're not from Northern Kentucky. You're not
Mhm.
from around here. What's your favorite chili place?
Okay, so there is nothing like a good homemade chili.
right.
If you can make a homemade chili, I say make it. Make it. I mean, that's how it is. I don't. I do not do. I've only had. I think I've only had Gold Star once out here in Kentucky. Right.
Hmm.
Um, that was actually years ago, and I don't know if I was with you, but we went to that the mall, and we yeah, I think Gold Star was the only thing that's there, and that's the only thing I eat. You know, it's like if you have Burger King and you had McDonald's, once you had one burger, you've had burgers all the time. I don't
Right.
like to sit there. Like I will never go to a restaurant. The only sit down place I will go actually eat a burger is a Red Robin. Otherwise, I am not gonna order a burger. No, that's like a fast food place. I do not do that. But Skyline's the place to go. Obviously, I heard that there's another place that also does chili. I don't know the name of it, but it's either
Dixie.
Skyline or yeah. There's actually like a fast food place called Dixie. I don't know if it's a fast food.
Dixie chili. Yep.
So,
Yeah, I'm from around here, born and raised in the
mhm,
tri-state area, the northern. Um,
right.
I want to tell you my favorite place to get a three-way or a four-way,
Mhm,
which is for people that's not around the tri-state area. Chili on top of spaghetti with like beans and
mhm.
onions or garlic. The best
Yeah.
place to get that, in my opinion, is Dixie
Okay.
chili. If you're gonna
So,
go for a chili
mhm,
dog, I would suggest. My favorite spot is Gold Star.
okay. See, here's the thing. I went to Gold Star once, and it upset in my stomach. It gave me the
Hmm.
runs and it upset in my stomach. I've been told that like Skyline has never upset in my stomach before. Now it's a little pricey, of course, giving that $10 for a plate of chili, pasta. I mean, I just got done making Alfredo for under $5 today. Yeah, last night.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, I also like those are those recipes that you learn how to make your own chili too, like your own Skyline. I like doing that. I love to be creative. So I mean, I just when I love the concept of pasta. I love pasta. I think the pasta is going to be the death of me at some point. I think I tell people all this time, every time. Uh, and like just the other like back in I think December, Justin and I went to go see that Spider-Man movie, and we went to
Hmm.
Olive Garden, and we um we got some nochi, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I missing out? So,
Somewhat.
pasta is nochi.
Never heard of it.
Oh my goodness, you're missing out. It's like a little fluff ball of pastry. They're kind of more
Oh.
like soup products. So you kind of it's like a potato, like a little
Oh.
small with like doughy potato, and then you'll put basil in it. There's other things that they put in it. Oh my goodness! It's like usually served like as a soup. Like you go to Olive Garden when you get a chance and order that as a soup. Like this, it's a really good soup. I mean, I enjoyed it. Justin enjoyed it. It was expensive, but we enjoyed it.
My
But
favorite thing is pesto.
pesto, ooh. So I die for the old spaghetti factory pesto salad.
Hmm.
Have you been to the old spaghetti factory up
I
there in
have not.
Fairfield? You're missing out, man. If you love pasta as much as I do, that's my favorite place. I don't like Olive Garden. Well, I mean, I like Olive Garden, but I don't like it as much. If you want the Italian, well, I don't even like. Would it be Italian experience with the decorations and all that stuff? I love the old spaghetti factory because there is so vintage. They keep it. I mean, maybe they're outdated, but they keep the old classic like 1930s, like the I think yeah, the last time I went, I took my girls, and we got to sit in the the box car
Hmm.
trolley car that they're famous for. And most restaurants have that box car trolley. It's like one big trolley thing that they actually open up to actually have get customers sit in and eat their food in there. And I'm like, dude, that's a wonderful, fantastic experience. we got to take you out there sometime. So I'm gonna have to work on getting you out there. It is, I mean, I would say it's a little expensive, but it's a 3 course meal. So with the pasta that you get a salad, and then you get ice cream, vanilla, chocolate,
Oh,
pomoni. So it's like it's an all in one. Then you get bread, and I think it's a bang for your buck. Like if you want to go a little bit more upscale dining, a little bit more better. It's going to be like $15 a plate, so probably like $20 a person, including drinks. But it's worth it because you get a salad, and then you get ice cream. So like Olive Garden, you get a free salad or soup, and you get unlimited. But I mean, this is like a 3 course meal, all in like a reasonable price. And on
wow.
top of that, Olive Garden and spaghetti factories all over the world. You can't get Skyline chili. You can't go get Skyline chili out in California because they don't have it out in California. You want to order it,
Right.
it's like $20 online. Like it's ridiculous, crazy
Wow.
for some reason. We tried doing that. Like we tried ordering it from like when we were back in California. We could not do it. It was like $20 for like 4 cans, and I'm like, dude, that will be done. Now let me ask you this: you made Skyline at home, right? Before,
Mm-hmm.
do
Yep.
you get the can or do you get the tub from the freezer section?
I actually get the can because I'm the only one in my house that actually eats it.
Courtney doesn't
Um,
eat it.
so she's like you. She wants a homemade chili. She's so used to growing up on chunky chili.
Okay.
You know, I'm used to eating what Courtney calls chili sauce,
Right. Okay.
but
So
she's
here's how you
plain
fix
chili.
that. Here's how you fix that. Try the tub next time because the can is very saucy. There's not a lot of meat because it's a dried can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is there Skyline in Florida? There you go. You got to go have Skyline in Florida when you go down this year. Armchair booking.
I don't.
Steve Barber just said there's Skyline in Florida.
Oh,
So hey, it's making its way around the
yeah.
world. Hey, give him some props. I mean, but like that's the thing. Try the tub. It's like $8, $9 for the tub, and you could kind of just toss that in a microwave, heat that up, and that's the best thing to get more of like a meatier sauce. Portion than just the sauce. So, like, if you went to the actual Skyline Chili diner and you get, the Skyline Chili, you get a lot more meat in it. Like, it's more,
Yeah.
I say hearty, in that sense. If you get the can, it's just pretty much just sauce. And then if you get the tub, it's actually, I tuned in. Justin told me about the tub, and I'm like, man, you're right. I don't get it often, but when I do, it's like it's a good tub. I think it makes about 2 batches,
Do
depending
batches.
how much chili. Yeah, depending how much chili you put on.
So Courtney only eats it one way, and that
One way.
is down here. We made up this. It's called Chili Mac.
Oh, yeah.
Um, you just make macaroni and cheese and just
With
dump
the
it in there.
Velveeta cheese, though, I think it works best
Um,
with Velveeta cheese.
yes, it works better with that. But that's the only way she'll eat it.
Yeah.
And no, we make chili dip.
Mm-hmm.
We make chili dogs, chili spaghetti. No, one of my favorites is just a bowl of chili. Can't go
Yeah.
wrong with a bowl of chili. But
No, no. I mean, it's terrible for you, but I mean, you know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
But all right, hey, listen, I think we got to move on. I mean, we could talk about food all day. I mean, now you're making me hungry a little bit, and we still got an hour and a half left. So, all right, we have a lot going on here. We got a little bit of wrestling to talk about. I want to get your recaps on wrestling. I also want to get your recap on the NFL football here, and kind of get into the football sway of things, especially on this Friday. So let's cut to a commercial break. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be right back. And I had to play this on the way out. But we will be right back, and we'll come back after this few messages.
I'm somewhere in the middle, try to find myself again. But life is one big riddle of the future and what's been. Guess it's the way it goes, and I will never know why you let me go. Look to the left, look to the right, nothing can stop me in the night, like I am leaving all the bad stuff and trying to remain so strong. I know it's good if I'm alone. I got it, I gotta go, 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 running into better times. Go, 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 from my emotions I'll go, 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 running into better times, to better times, to better times, to better times, to better times. Remember I was laughing in all the photos that you took, but now it looks like acting, like we were fiction in a book. Guess it's the way it goes, and I will never know why you let me go. Look to the left, look to the right, nothing can stop me in the night, like I am leaving all the bad stuff and trying to remain so strong. I know it's good if I'm alone. I got it, I gotta go, 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 running into better times. Go, 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 from my emotions I'll go, 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 running into better times, to better times, to better times, to better times, to better times.
Gotta get it right now. Yeah, push all the limits with you right now.
All right, let's get our heads on clear, everyone. That was a good opening segment. Took a little longer. I thought that was a catchy song, though. Wouldn't you disagree? Got me into some joy. Hey, everyone. Check out our merchandise page at merch.streamelements.com/JJ Talk Show. If you guys are looking to create, or if you guys are looking to carry our merchandise and carry our brand with you wherever you guys go, we got t-shirts, jackets, hoodies, iPhone cases, blankets, and more. Head on over to merch.streamelements.com/JJ Talk Show. Now, I'm going to probably have to reach out to Steve Barber because I'm kind of, I wouldn't usually say I'm jealous, but I don't know if I want all of this writing before the JJ Talk Show. And then Stream Elements won't let me change the back half of the name to TNC Sports Talk. I like the product and I like what they provided, but I may go to like T Public. I don't know if that cost anything, so I want to get some more information, and we will see. But hey, what about the new commercials? It's been a week. I mean, you guys gave me some good constructive feedback on the commercials. Got rid of all the promotions, and we just went with pictures of us, which now you know and understand the reason why we go with the pictures. Do you like it? What do you think?
Look great. Look better than the last ones.
I mean, I can't do nothing with that extra second delay from time to time, but at the same time, instead of, and I'm trying to move some things around so like they're not always staying in one place. We got some pictures of us at Cavalcade, a couple of with us meeting. When we go to Raw, we're gonna update ourselves. Also, because Jake normally does this, I'm gonna do it today. Hey, listen, you guys, we are doing a giveaway next Saturday. We're doing two giveaways next Saturday, January 29th, 2022, on our episode of the J Trey Podcast from 1 to 3. Don't forget to check us out because Trey will be announcing two winners to win a autograph of Brian Danielson. All right. We got these at Cavalcade back earlier this month. We came across a couple extra ones. And if you guys are looking to receive yourself one an autograph, an actual autograph from Brian Danielson, all you guys got to do, head on over to our TikTok page at TNC Sports Talk. Follow us, find the pin that Jake posted about it, click on, like it, share it, and comment on it. And then you will qualify to win. Trey will be picking out the two winners. Now, here's the thing: you gotta do all four. Well, you gotta do all three. You gotta like the video. You gotta share the video, and then you gotta comment the video. If you only do one or two of those things, then we're not going to give it away. Like, there's no point. I mean,
Right.
the list is only going to be long. So, first of all, and I'm just on it right now. There's only currently 173 people that are qualified to win. Well, half were qualified.
Yep.
So, out of 170, there's only 8 people that liked it and 4 people that actually commented on it. So, which one of us is us? So let me pause it. So really, there's only, I mean, what? There's only 2 people. Yeah, 2 people that have done all three. I don't know how is this going, Trey? How is
Right. It's gonna be very easy. I mean, you
it's gonna
guys
make
gotta
your job
you guys
easy?
gotta get this done.
Well, because okay, so my idea was originally just to have us follow. Now we have like 400 and something followers, and it's crazy. It's what, like 2 weeks ago? No, literally
Hmm.
like a week ago. We only had like 160. Now we have 400 people. Like, it's great. It's crazy. But all I asked was to follow. Do you guys want to add in the like, share, and comment? And the thing I think here's the problem: people ain't gonna do any of that. To do all three of them at the same time is a little difficult. But I'm all cool with it. If that means there's 2 people that are gonna get it, that means 2 people are gonna get it. Like I said, in order to win, you got to not only like the video, you have to share the video, right? And then you got to comment on the video. And then while you're there, just follow us, right?
Yep.
Simple as that.
Yep.
So I don't know. We'll see. Armchair booking, you guys could do that. Qualify. I would love to give you guys a
Yeah.
autograph, Brian Danielson autograph. I don't know if you got,
Definitely.
Are you? I mean, I guess here's a question: Armchair Booking. By the way, Armchair Booking is another podcast that goes on YouTube a couple times a week. They are very. They talk about the world of wrestling. They just put up an episode about the Rumble and the history of the Rumble. Actually, last night I was tuning into a little bit of that. Watched a little bit. I'm going to finish watching it today. Very intriguing to find out that information and all that stuff that's going on in the Rumble history. There's a lot of Rumble history that's coming up next Saturday. But Armchair Booking, you could also listen to them on any audio platforms that will Armchair Booking as well. But is there, like, do you guys collect things? Like, Trey, what do you collect? Do you like to collect things?
Um. Right now, I am collecting autographs.
Mm,
Now that started when a few years back when I started going to the cavalcade with Courtney.
right.
And then I turned into Funko Pops. But
Mm,
before that, it was, action figures. And you've seen my wrestling cup collection.
right.
I've had them for probably 10 years, 15 years. Um, you know, uh, so my other collection is Cardinal Bards.
Yeah. I saw. As a matter of fact, you were talking. I was over at your house the other day. You were talking about it. And on the way out, I got in my car and I turned on my lights. And I see two more cardinal birds out there,
Yep.
and I'm like, oh my goodness, there's too much. And the thing is that it's funny because like I'm sitting out here right now, and there's like a whole bunch of cardinal birds out on the branches. You know,
You know,
like it's a season for them.
no, and there's none over
But
here.
well, so like I don't. When it comes down to memorabilia and collectives, I don't like. I used to collect action figures. Matter of fact, I used to play with them. You know,
Hmm.
had that imaginary mind. Um, we're gonna have to ask next time if you don't mind. I will love Dwaylen to kind of maybe explain or share his on his next show. Dwaylen, I guess, has more of a collection. I would love to hear more about his collection and see what he collects because as
Yeah.
a wrestling fan or as a sports fan, I mean, there's certain things, you know, like for example, the jersey. And I don't necessarily collect jerseys. I have a couple of T-shirts, but I would love to get a more of a like uniform, jerseys for like baseball. And stuff like that. I would love to get like a TNC Sports Talk, NFL jersey. That would be awesome. Custom make one. But with that being said, like I'll collect like these pennants back here. Those are great to collect. I love collecting the lanyards I have up as well. I just got into bobbleheads and going out to Reds game, not getting bobbleheads. Um I want to get a hold of some more. I have to try to see where they are at if I'm still accessible to get them. But then, like some of the stuff has to be meaningful. I think the only non-meaningful thing is probably magic tricks. Because I'm in and out with the magic tricks and illusions and stuff like that. So I got a collection of that. But otherwise, it's like I love like Disney action figures for some reason. I'm a Disney person, so collecting like the Disney sets just to collect the action figures. I will go down to the Disney shop up there in where I know it's a little past Blue Ash. It's up at that mall. You know what show I'm talking about? The one that the
Yeah.
big, very busy mall. There's a Disney shop up there. Well, I would go there and I'll spend like $20 just on the collections just to have them around. You heard of the game Elf on the Shelf where you kind of just put the elf anywhere? I will
Yep.
have literally you have Cardinal Bird sitting where I'm gonna have Disney characters, just scenery just set up everywhere. But that's just me. Gosh, man, just spending 40 minutes talking about nothing. You're on our show on this Friday.
Um.
What's up?
Before we go any farther, I want to say
Okay.
rest in peace to Meatloaf. I'm not too familiar with him. If I
To
heard a
who?
song, maybe I would know who he is. But
To
I
who?
think we should Meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
Yes, apparently he passed away today.
Meatloaf.
Yeah.
Um, Let me see if I can put something up. I never heard. I mean, we probably have. Where did this come across? You just found this out?
I found this out by people I got on air.
Fucking. I think I've
Never
heard
heard
of him, but nothing.
right.
Nothing that. Yeah. Yeah. Where is Jake when you need him?
Right.
um.
Yeah.
Oh
I've
my
never
god!
heard
Oh,
of him.
listen, I haven't. Okay, I've heard of his song. Here's the thing: when it comes down to artists, I know songs. I don't know artists. Armchair booking. He was like, "Oh, if you don't know Meatloaf, I may have to reevaluate our friendship." I'm sorry. That's the thing. Like, I can match. Like, oh yeah, now I remember. Like I have to listen to the song, which it's not really It's not really anything in particular. All right, hey, listen. While we do a little bit more into this Wrestling World Weekend, we got to talk about some wrestling. All right,
Yes.
it's interesting because I talked to Jake about this on Friday. You came to me, text us, hey, what's going on in AEW? So and so, blah blah blah, right? And I'm like, wait, hold on, you're watching AEW? Like, what's going on with you? You're like a new man watching AEW live. You're like, I'd rather watch AEW than watch than play my video game. I'm like, that's crazy, because I know how big you are with Raw. So kind of share me so far in your experience this week of wrestling.
The armchair booking is actually going to be very proud of me. If anybody knows me, like Justin just says, I'm a WWE guy. You know, um, Wednesdays, the last two Wednesdays, I'm like, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not playing no video games. Courtney's not playing with me on any video games. There's nothing on YouTube. What can I do to waste some time? So I was like, oh yeah, AEW's on. I'm gonna tune in. And the last 2 week times, no, last week I watched CM Punk versus Warlow. That was a great match. This time I was like, I'm gonna tune in the whole show. My first time ever watching the entire AEW live on TV. Never have done that, and I'm gonna tell you, it's way better than Raw. And there's actually some matches that I really, really enjoyed. Such as
All right, so you said that I don't mean to interrupt, but you said that so you watched the entire episode of AEW
the entire episode from start to begin.
in
I'm not
from
gonna say
start to beginning.
I missed the John Moxley,
Okay,
and I believe that was the start of the show. So I did miss that. I must
okay,
have tuned in right after him.
okay.
So other than that, I pretty much watched the entire show. Um, I'm gonna say I really enjoyed the Adam Cole versus Orange Cassidy. I've never seen Adam Cole wrestle in AEW. Like I said, this is my very, very first time. The last time I watched CM Punk wrestle, all the way up until was it Matt? He was Evan Bourne in WWE. Matt
Matt
something.
Cadona. No,
Yeah.
that's
Matt Seidel. Is it Seidel?
yeah, yeah. I'm sorry.
Um,
I'm
I
thinking of
watched
Zack
that
Ryder.
match, and that was a squash match, and I was like, I'm not too into squash matches. So
Right.
and then I chose video games, and I regret that.
Well,
Um,
it's interesting because you know it is easier to gravitate to AEW with the freshness that you kind of still see. I mean, you've been watching a really repetitive WWE for such a
mhm,
long time. And so, I mean, I give you a lot of credit for watching AEW, and and it definitely helps out. You don't know how much more it helps out now, knowing that you're now down to watching what we watch. Also, now I didn't check the entire Dynamite episode. I've tuned into it. We had conversations about that. John
mhm,
Moxley returning, facing Ethan Page tonight on Rampage, which is going to be his first in-ring appearance on television since he left for rehab. I've told people, throughout the week, about my concern that I have for John Moxley. We really don't know when the last time he's been in the ring, and you don't know what his in-ring ability is. And then you also think about it, if someone depended on a certain item or certain enhanced, I don't want to call it alcohol or drugs, but in that category, if you rely on that so much, you could be when you come out as a different person. Sometimes your performance is also off the table a little bit as
Mm,
well. So that's
right.
one thing I'm concerned about. And then you just think about that. Not only he is coming, he's facing Ethan Page tonight, which, spoiler alert, it happened back on Wednesday. But it's also he's facing a G and at the GCW pay per view for the title, and already he's getting himself back into the thing, and I kind of just wonder, okay, how well is he gonna be able to adapt to the new changes that he's making? It's gonna be additional struggle because sometimes you wonder why some of these guys drink. It's not just to kill time. Sometimes because they can't go take those extra medications because of breaking protocol. Sometimes they refer to the alcohol and the booze to kind of get over some of the pain and some of what they put their bodies through.
Right. Now, if anybody knows John Moxley, he's been through some pretty tough matches in his wrestling career. Now, I respect him for going out to get some help.
I do too, and I mean, I want him. And the thing is that, we mentioned this on our show. That the fact that you come to the point where you have what do you call it? The fact that you come to the point that you have acknowledged that you have a problem and then seek the attention for the problem are huge steps because a lot of people, and if you asked me like 20 years ago, like 10, 15 years ago, that would have been profound upon. They would have said, hey, suck it up and get back at it, right? If you were a
Mhm.
football player and you're playing injured, they would have told you, hey, suck it up. If you had a mental issue, they said, suck it up and put it back at it. And right. Things like Andre the Giant. I mean, Armchair Booking made a great point. This is the reason why Andre the Giant did a lot of drinking. He was in pain. How much do you think hiding it in? Do you think? And I know I'm gonna hit a tough subject, but I'm asking it anyways. How much do you think that any of this had to do also with Chris Benoit? How much pain do you think Chris Benoit was in?
A lot.
I know he was dealing with some other stuff. He was doing things, he was, concussions after concussions, body aches after body aches. I mean, he put his body on the line too. I know other things led to situations that happened. I'm not going to go into detail in this episode, but you just imagine how much do you think, um, what happened to him and his story, how much of that happened because he had to hold it up. And I know armchair booking mentioned the drinking problem. I'm not just mentioning the drinking problem. I'm mentioning, overall. I think it's back then you come out to public saying, "Hey, I got problems. I need to go take care of myself first." People would have said, "Hey, you're soft. You're weak. You're soft.
Mhm.
You don't belong here." All the sports, baseball, football, hockey, wrestling, it don't matter. If you came to the public saying, "Hey, I have an issue," or whether it's a drinking problem, a drug problem, or hey, I'm beat up, I'm hurting, then they would have called you out and said, "Listen, you no, just you don't belong here." But fact that John Moxley has finally been able to come out and say that stuff, and you don't know how long this has been bundling it up, but how much did he rely on to get through the matches each and every night? That
Right.
So, I
No,
mean, condemn. I love the fact I have a whole new respect to John Moxley. He looks amazing.
definitely.
He looks more well put together, and I'm excited to see him. I just don't know how much of that is going to affect. Like I said, one, he's out of the ring for 4 months, and two, I don't know how long if he depended on this alcohol to keep him going in the ring. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
how's it?
And then
How's
if so, yeah.
is he physically ready for his
is
match?
he is he also maybe mentally
Mentally,
ready?
yep.
So I guess we'll find out. And I have high hopes. I don't think that I think he's gonna do well in his matches. I think it's gonna maybe be a little bit of ring rust, but he's gonna come back to the way he was. I just don't know if that's gonna lead down to maybe a cause to take a step back. You gotta remember he has a child at home, right? He's a married man. All these
Definitely.
extreme matches that you want him to do, how much more is he gonna do because he's married and he has to think about his kids?
I mean, he's also probably taken advice from people like Matt Hardy. No, Matt Hardy had
Jeff.
problems.
Jeff
Jeff,
is dealing with this stuff. I mean,
definitely.
but that's just something to throw out there. And it's interesting, I think I find it interesting to talk about because I don't feel I feel like we always I feel like certain people a lot of people like to avoid these conversations because you do get into weird positions talking about this because every case is different. But you go back to the Andre the Giant situation and how much he drank because of the pain that he was physically in. You kind of think about exactly all these other wrestlers in the history of time and what they had to put themselves through and what they had to hide behind closed doors because if it came to even if it spread around the locker room, people thought a certain way of you, especially
Yeah,
in the wrestling world, like I said. You know
definitely.
what I'm saying? And I like I said, I'm not making excuses, and I'm a huge Chris Benoit fan. I feel like the WWE should be putting him in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if it's going to be in Vince's lifetime, but they will. I really feel like eventually they should be putting him in the Hall of Fame for the work that he did in the ring,
But
especially I mean, especially here's the thing: like, there's a whole controversy, and we just saw this with the MVP, right? I think we talked about this last week. How some guy comes out, some reporter, some voter comes out and say, "Hey, I'm not voting for Aaron Rodgers because of the stuff he did off the field, right?"
right.
And the MVP should be the stuff he did on the field. Um, I know there's are cases claiming about the upcoming Hall of Fame ballots for like baseball and football, right? It should, I mean, I guess Hall of Fame wise, is that strictly should be what he's accomplished in the ring and for the company, or is that should be also considered what he's done outside the ring?
In my opinion, it should be about what you have done in that sport,
Right. And
not
if you look at
outside.
Chris Benoit, he's done a lot in that sport.
Hmm. One of my favorites of all time.
And you hold him out because he did a heinous act what 15 years ago. And I get it. I don't agree with it, but how much trouble was he in and he wasn't able to go to help? Because if he went to go help, he would have been shut down. You think about it, he was also at the end of his career. He was up there in age, he was in his mid 30s. He was going to be leaving in the next 5 years anyways. I mean, he would have been retired by probably 2010, 2011, the way he went.
Yeah, his style of wrestling, I'm pretty sure he would be retired within, like you said, 5 years.
Right. But I mean, you hold him back. I mean, it's not like he gambled on games. So I mean, you can't compare him to Pete Rose. I understand the heinous act. I'm not agreeing with the heinous act, but at what point do you think like his it? A lot of people don't come out and say it because they'll get criticized, but a lot of people base their wrestling off of what he's done. He also helped shape that I wouldn't say cruiserweight division, but that type of technique of wrestling.
Yeah, people like Eddie, Chris, um, two of my favorite wrestlers of all time. You know, two people who's had their demons.
Hmm.
You know, and as well as I do, Eddie had his demons,
Hmm.
and I think he dealt with his demons all the way up until his death. And for
Here's
John
the last.
Moxley,
Yeah,
to come out publicly and do what
mhm,
he did, he deserves some respect.
absolutely. The another fact is that just like John Moxley today, um, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Rey Mysterio, throw in that conversation. Those are guys who showed you that you didn't have to be 6'10", 340 pounds to be in the wrestling business, to be at the top of the wrestling business. Right? You didn't
Yeah.
have to be a Brock Lesnar. You didn't have to be the size of the Undertaker. You didn't got to be a Big Show. You got to be able to move. And they showed a lot when it came down to their in-ring ability, and that's what brought them up. They were at the top of their games. They were going after World Heavyweight Championships and United States Championships. They were on each and every week. People relied on them. John Moxley, the same thing. They relied on him, and I'm just thank God that in today's era, you could say something and it won't be held against you. And good, that person being banned for life on Wednesday after, because if you hear back the segment, some guy, some jerk, some loser calls him out and say, "Hey, get that trash out of the ring." Threw him out. He's banned for all AEW. Now, will they actually keep it? Because that's the other thing. That guy who attacked Seth
Mm,
Rollins was found back on WWE event. A couple months later, but I mean, good, get him out, because as maybe I get it. Some people ain't gonna like this situation, but there's gonna be a lot of it. But everyone else loves what he's done, and they have a tremendous amount of respect.
see, I have a problem with that. But that's what the audience is for. You boo, you talk trash, you cheer, and for
Okay.
AEW to ban a person for calling a
No,
wrestler
so
trash.
there's one thing. Go back and listen to that segment. Go
Oh,
back,
I've had
listen to the
multiple
segment.
times.
Okay. And it's one thing to heckle a wrestler, but you just had John Moxley come back from rehab, getting this
Mm-hmm.
warm welcome. And now you're going to get personal criticism. It's like if you go to if you go to NWF and you're booing, right? Like you normally do. Oh, you suck, this and that. Yeah. But when you start getting a little too out of hand, you start saying things that you probably shouldn't be saying in front of a group of people for a person that all they're trying to do is come out and entertain you, then if they want to throw you out, I don't have a problem with it.
Right.
And here's the thing,
I
John, and here's my thing too. My last take on this: John Moxley did a tremendous amount of work to be come back, and he deserves the promotion and the fan base that he got coming back. Right?
mm-hmm.
I don't care who you are, but that is standing up for your guy. Tony Khan is standing up for your guy. He's like, hey, he's worth me. He's not going to get disrespected. Maybe in 4 months, I'll let some leeway on what people say. But if first night back, you can kind of come out and say that when it's supposed to be a positive night for him. No, I'm sorry, I'm not tolerating that. I mean, it's like you coach a basketball team, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to let I know you're going to let fans, say what they want to say, but you're going to defend for your players at the end of the day, right?
No.
And
But I'm
everyone
not
drawing
gonna
the line
ban
is
him.
your own opinion. No, but here's the thing. They say, the reports say that they banned him for life for AEW events. Now, I don't know if that's the far-fetched how much you have to do, but I mean, let AEW make that decision. It's not
Yeah.
me. I wasn't up in the stands. But yet again, I don't disagree, and I don't think AEW did anything wrong throwing him out of the arena that night.
Throw him out of the freaking arena. Is what it is.
Right. Well, here's the deal. Let's take a break. We got Saturday and Sunday to talk more about wrestling, and I want to talk more about wrestling with you. There's a lot more to talk about. Talk about which one's better, AEW Dynamite or Raw. Then we got SmackDown tonight, Rampage tonight. Are you watching Rampage tonight?
I am.
You are. 3 whole hours. Hopefully that's more interesting than Raw.
But
But we will take a break. When we come back, I'm going to give you, because Jake's not here, you're going to have the 5 minutes of fame. We're going to do that segment with you coming up next here on the J Trey Podcast.
I want to be daring, baby, dance the night away. I let my head down if I want. Don't you just get tired chasing fame and being pretty all the time? Doesn't sound like fun. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better. I dare you to be wilder. Tonight away, I'll kick my shoes off if I want. Let yourself be free and maybe you will find that there is more to life than being pretty. Honey, let's just face it. Baby, let your head down, be a little wilder. Baby, kick your shoes off, you don't have to hide it. Baby, let your head down, be a little wilder. Baby, kick your shoes off, don't hide it. I don't fit into your box, beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better, I dare you to be wilder. I don't fit into your box, beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better, I dare you to be wilder. I don't fit into your box, beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better, I dare you to be wilder. I don't fit into your box, beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better, I dare you to be wilder.
There you go. We are lacklusting on credit. Alrighty, we got Trey's 5 minutes of fame right after this quick advertisement. We try to make our way through, I don't know, sports week here. We already BS'd 1 hour of this. I got 5 topics for you. 5 minutes of fame, 5 topics of sports stories that we were not able to get to this week, or probably just didn't really was not worth the full on segment. Okay, so 5 minutes of fame with Trey. That is today's little category, today's little segment as well. Are you ready, Trey?
I'm ready.
Okay. So today's story, I got 2 wrestling stories, 1 football, and 2 basketball stories. Coming at number 1. The Lakers seem to just be being an average basketball team, hovering around 500. They'll win a couple games, lose a couple games, win a couple games, lose a couple games. And now we're seeing them take it out on the court with now benching Russell Westbrook. Sorry, earlier this week, the Lakers head coach bench Westbrook as he underperformed. Earlier this week, also, I don't know if you heard of, but Magic Johnson came out and said, hey, we play like crap. They play like crap. The Lakers fans don't deserve it. You all need to get your shit together. And I know a couple of people took that to heart and they pulled off a couple of great victories, but they're starting to bench people now.
See, I have no problem with that. I'm a coach myself with my basketball team. Um, you know, if my players was not doing good, not playing to their full potential, I'm gonna take them out, have them give them a breather, refocus. Bring in other people, and you know, I don't blame the coaches at all for doing that. They gotta do what they gotta do. They gotta do what's best for the team. And if they have to take out players, then that's what they need to do.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a stacked team for the Lakers, and they should be probably way better than a 500 average team if you think
Mhm.
about it. So, I completely agree with you. Staying in the basketball at number two, Joel Embiid, a Philadelphia 76er, joins Clay Thompson in a rare 50-point game against the Orlando Magics. Putting up 50 points in a game is pretty impressive, to be honest. And that happened again earlier this week with Joel uh, Embiid with the Sixers.
Scoring 50 points, that's very impressive. Um, Congratulations to him. Not very many people can do that. That's a very big accolade to have.
All right, coming in at number three, the NFL story. Not NFL. That's coming at number four. Number three, Mustafa Ali requests his WWE contract to be released. And WWE has basically Mustafa said, "Hey, listen, you're not putting. I have a vision for my character. You guys ain't seeking it. I want my release." And WWE actually responded saying, "No, we're going to keep you."
Mm, See, I have a problem with that. You're gonna release all these people for budget cuts, but you're not gonna release him. But you literally just released somebody else. Was it Tony Storm? I think
They
she
just
asked for
released
her
Tony
release.
Storm. Yep, but no, she can. Yeah, I guess she kind of left.
Um, no, a shame on WWE. You know,
You know what? One thing I would say, okay, so Armchair Booking made this point. Dwayne made this point, I think, last night. Mustafa Ali is a great. I think he's a good athlete. I think they're
hmm
utilizing Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali. Dwayne made this point last night. Or Steve, one of them too. And I'm sorry if I not crediting the other person, but uh, they said last night on their program that what does Mustafa Ali and Tony Khan have in common? They're both from Chicago, and they both had the same. Uh, what is it? Pakistani? I don't want to butcher any of that, but you know they could be. They could probably be great for business with each other. Um, Here's also the other thing I think. Um, we talk about. You mentioned earlier about WWE and Vince McMahon giving up, so-called giving up on um, Finn Balor, right?
But
Well, also, if you think about this, excuse me, I'm sorry, trying to drink coffee, wake up still. But if you think about this, if that forbidden door, which I'm calling it a BS a little bit right now, because we've only advertised Mickey James, and it's the Rumble time. I don't know if this is going to continue it or if they're just going to shut the door at the end. Now we all want it to continue, but if this is something they continue, do you see them using guys like Finn Balor and Mustafa Ali to go tell their stories in another promotion under WWE contract? I mean, that's a possibility. But that's all part of that forbidden door, though. You know what I'm saying? It's a give and take. You're not just gonna accept wrestlers to come in. You got to give wrestlers to come out. And if you're not using a guy like Finn Balor and Mustafa Ali, then you can maybe kind of send them out. And like you said, you talk about that forbidden door, and that's kind of in that same category. But we'll have to figure that out. Talk about that probably on another day. Um, no, coming at number 4, Dak Prescott apologized about the comments he made back on Sunday's game. Okay, I guess he kind of took his anger out on the referees. So, kind of encouraging fans to throw things at them on the way out. And so he made an apology to the fans yesterday, and their head coach, I think what McCarthy, and he's also defending Dak Prescott's statement, saying things like he supports Dak Prescott's decision, and it wasn't just to, his gameplay issue. Um, what happened in Dallas at the end of the game just probably was not okay. It was poor play. It was poor clock management, poor play decisions, and honestly, it was kind of an embarrassment to Dallas a little bit.
Um, no, you got to take accountability of what your team does. Um, you know, if you're gonna play bad, you need to take no, you have to accept that you played horrible. Don't blame the refs for what happened. Blame yourself. Blame. Talk with your team. Mm, Don't take it out on nobody else except yourself or your teammates. How can we get this team better? But that was an embarrassment. Taking it out on the refs.
I mean, they were also throwing stuff at their own players. I mean, I just think, like, as a leader, you need to also. I mean, Dallas Cowboy fans need to have control a little bit. Okay, I get it that
Yeah,
you lost; it's very emotional. But to start throwing things into the field, um, here's the thing. At the end of the day, if you made one extra play, one extra tackle, if you prevented them, I mean, the 49ers kind of practically gave you the game in the fourth quarter, the last like 4 minutes of the game. You didn't take advantage of it, and that's no one else to blame but yourself. So, I mean, you shouldn't have the fans
definitely.
take it out on anyone. And I think if anyone should be pissed off at anybody, it's Dak Prescott needs to be pissed as a team captain, needs to be pissed off at the fans for the way they acted after the game.
Definitely.
Like,
We-
dude, I mean, we're America's team. We need to act with a little bit more integrity and class. All right, number 5, last but not least, WWE or AEW throwing a little bullet shots at WWE. We saw this twice on Wednesday. We saw the quick match that CM Punk put up, followed by in representing of Natalia and was it Natalia and Aaliyah, right, back on
Yeah.
SmackDown. How quick that match was. CM Punk followed that up, and then also was it Cody mentioned kind of joked about the name change to Gunther with Walter in NXT 2.0.
See, I don't believe in taking shots at one another. Worry about yourself. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Your main focus should be um your company. Worry about yourself. Worry about your ratings. Worry about your wrestlers. If if WWE is doing something that you don't like, don't worry about them. Who
Right. I
cares?
mean, so Cody Rhodes did a promo, I think, on Wednesday. Like I said, I didn't watch it. I think maybe you watched
Hmm.
it, and
I
he
did.
mentioned Gunther. He mentioned the name change from Walter to Gunther in NXT 2.0, and then the CM Punk match. How quick was that match?
It was quick. I think it was
Almost as
10
quick as
seconds.
Aaliyah. Almost as quick as
Right.
Aaliyah and Natalia. So
Right.
it seems like every couple weeks, either WWE or AEW kind of plays, that kind of picks each other at each other. I mean,
Yeah.
I could say it's a little friendly competition, but I don't know if if AEW is kind of quite ready to get into something like that with WWE, because the last time WWE faced off against something like what TNA wants to do, or what people want TNA to do, right? The war games, right? WWE ended up buying out a WCW, right? They end up
Mm,
owning the entire thing that probably should have probably brought them down. Um, and so I don't know. I'm still kind of intimidated to see what, if you really want to cross that boundary line. And I think they're kind of shedding water just a little bit, walking on that beach line. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, I believe if WWE wanted to be the best, they'll be the best. I think that last couple of years they took a step back. They're not really doing what WWE should be doing. But do I think the old man's lost his touch? I think so. But
I
I
also think
believe
for quite some time too. Let's be honest. I think for quite some time he stepped away with pandemic, and he's kind of let other
yeah,
people take more reins. And now, since he's kind of back up in the office, he's kind of getting it's not going to change overnight, but he's getting a more of a picture, an idea of what he wants done too. So, I mean, I don't know how many people have considered that. How involved do you think Vince McMahon was actually during the pandemic?
I don't
Was he
think
as hands on as he normally was?
I
And maybe
believe
at the
not.
point, sorry, go ahead.
I don't believe he's been involved much during the pandemic because I've heard multiple stories that he hasn't been there.
Right.
He's been letting Bruce and all these other people take care of it.
Yeah. That so here's my thing. I think that prior to the pandemic, I think Vince was slowly trying to build a team to kind of replace him in guys like Triple H and some of the right. And I think after the pandemic, it kind of slipped away. Obviously, he had to focus in on the health, on staying home, doing things that he had to, what he had to do at his age to stay healthy. And I know he's a big health freak too. He does working out at 2 a.m. Um, and I kind of feel like that's when it started really slipping away a little bit because they had to downgrade, and then it led to this. And I think with Vince McMahon being a little bit more hands on now, and you're finally seeing the product. I don't know if this is a long term deal, and I hope it is, but you're finally seeing Vince McMahon do. You're finally seeing a product that Vince McMahon is putting out.
Definitely. Um,
But
all I gotta say is AEW needs to mind their own business.
and they also need. I think they also need. I mean, there's a whole nother issue. I feel like they put way too much in.
Right.
I preach
No.
this like a choir, but they have way too much. And if you're trying to attract, you got to remember, there's not many diehard fans. There's not as many. You think it's a small community. If you're trying to get more people into wrestling, you overpacking the show, you throw on like you have like in that 2 hours, you had like 40 different things going on Wednesday night. And for someone like you who you grew up at diehard wrestling, you know a little bit more about it and you can kind of keep up with it, right? But
Right.
for a guy like maybe someone who just wants to tune in to watch a good event, there's so much stuff. It's confusing to follow. Oh, who's this? Who's that? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And then all the storylines in between. Like, there's stuff that's going on the side note with Adam Cole. But yet again, he's with Britt Baker that, and she's the women's champion and she's supposed to be having her own feud, but then she's the one who got put through a table, and that now it leads to Orange Cassidy, which wasn't even involved with Adam Cole to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Like, just that scenario alone is all mind boggling.
It's like it's a little bit too much to deal with.
It's overwhelming from time.
Right.
But
No,
as a
I'm so
fan,
used
if
to
you are if you are a fan that is trying to get into wrestling, Impact's the way to go. There's enough there, but it's not too much. NXT 2.0, good enough there. I think that is more vibrant. I think it's more attractive. Um, you would never I would never introduce Monday Night Raw to a brand new person. It's 3 hours of lacklusting, and I'm like, I'm not gonna have you sit down to 3 hours. I don't even know, and like it sucks because we're going to the event on the 31st, right? How are we
hmm
like it's how dreadful after 10 o'clock it is to sit for a whole nother hour.
No, especially being there live in person. You're sitting there for on TV it's 3 hours, but in person This said be bid at 4 hours.
if not 5. I mean, on top of that, you got to think about it. You what leave? You leave your house by what 4 o'clock? You get down there by
Yeah.
4:30, 5 o'clock. You're waiting out from 5 to 6:30. Then you get let in, and it's like a whole day's process. And for what, to be honest? And you don't even know if it's a promising show.
But
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just throw that out there. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to break down the NFL football games. Jake sent me his picks, so we will go ahead and share with us who we think we're going to win in the divisional weekend series. You ready for this?
I'm ready. I've got some
All
questions.
righty.
I am no average Joe. Be with me, and you will see. I'm floating around 10 feet over the ground. I'm floating around 10 feet over the ground. I think you like it. I know I like it too. Yeah, I think you like it more than you ever wanted high and low. It's how I roll. A shooting star in a film noir. I'm floating around 10 feet over the ground. I'm floating around 10 feet over the ground. I know you like it. I think I like it too. Yeah, I know you like it more than you ever wanted to. I am no average Joe.
Hey,
Yeah.
if you guys are watching it on YouTube, I could hear the background music.
Yeah, Courtney's watching it.
Man, all right.
One step forward, two steps backwards, yeah. Immature lover who don't use big words, yeah. I don't need commenting at all because I know what I want. Baby, can't you figure it out? What's going on in your heart? What's it gonna take for you to love?
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
That it is NFL time. With the NFC, get down to the NFC, and then move our way to AFC, saving the best game for last. We start off with San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. The second game of Saturday. This one is going to be played at 8:15, and this one is the number 6 seed 49ers taking on the number 1 seed Packers in a NFC divisional round. What's going on this one?
I think Green Bay is going to dominate San Fran. No, Aaron Rodgers is out to get to the Super Bowl, and he's going to dominate. So my pick's going to be Green Bay.
Already, you're not wasting any time.
No.
So Jake sent me his pick, so he gets to play. He's playing along with me. Okay, we wanted to keep him in the loop of this. Let me first just share with you last week. So I have a clean sweep, which is lucky. I have a clean sweep. I won all my games. Jake lost two. You lost one. So I won. You came in second. He came in third. Here's the deal with this. There is always that underdog team in the playoffs. 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo has has a tear in his thumb. He also has a partial dislocation in his shoulder. He's banged up. The Packers, yeah, and here's also the other understanding. This game is going to be within the highest is going to be 38 degrees, the lowest is going to be 1 degree. So you know how difficult that's going to be. I mean, you know how the aches and pains they are during the game. Here's what I think the Niners also have an advantage of, though. They can establish the run game. And the Packers do not necessarily defend well against the run game. I don't know how far this will lead, but I'm actually going to go. I mean, as much as I want the 49ers to as much as I think Aaron Rodgers, I mean, it's like, I guess the question is who's going to bet against Aaron Rodgers? Right. I mean, in the playoffs at Lambeau Field in the cold. And I could really see Green Bay and Tampa Bay going, but I want to take a risk on this one. I think San Francisco is going to win.
It's good to take some risk once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty big risk.
Why would you bet against Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau?
Because the 49ers could run the ball. And the defense, and I'm not betting against the Aaron Rodgers. I'm betting against the Green Bay's defense. I think there is multiple. Listen, Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't need to he doesn't need to put the team on his shoulder. He has players for that. He could allow the players to play the ball, and I think that coming off of a couple wins, I think that this is a really good chance for them. And I really believe, I believe that the 49ers will beat the Packers. It ain't going to be a far-fetched stretch. It's going to be a close game. The only thing the 49ers can't do is have an ending to the game like they did back with the Cowboys. So,
no, I'm only reason why I'm picking Green Bay is because I would like it to come down to Green Bay and the Bucks, and have Green Bay eliminate the Bucks to get Tom Brady out.
Okay. But then you get Green Bay back at the Super Bowl, and I'm tired of seeing. I know Green Bay hasn't been at the Super Bowl, but I'm tired of seeing Green Bay at the Super Bowl.
And I'm tired of seeing Tom Brady.
Which lead us into our next game here, then, because we got the Rams and the Buccaneers. Go ahead. What?
That's who's going to take out Tom Brady.
You think who's going to take out Tom Brady?
And LA's going to take out Tom Brady. I don't need Aaron Rodgers no more.
So the Buccaneers have. Are you still going with the Packers though?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So game number 2, Rams and Buccaneers. This is going to be the first game on Sunday at 12:05 Eastern or Pacific time. So 3:05 our time, 3:30 our time. The Rams, number 3, taking on the Buccaneers, number 2. Listen here. Who would ever bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs? I think you'd be foolish. I think you would be foolish to bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs. I mean, you could say, oh well, until he shows you that he can no longer play and keep up with the big boys, why bet against him in the playoffs? You don't. I think that's just the most stupidest move you would want to ever do, right? So,
I,
right? I mean,
I mean, betting against the greatest of all time. Do I do that? I'm tired of
we
seeing
do.
Tom Brady, but
We do. Jake does because Jake is choosing the Rams over the Buccaneers, and I don't see why not. Von Miller looked incredible. You had Odell Beckham that had a phenomenal game,
like
and I think that this is the stepping stone in my position, in my defense. This is where the Rams beat them earlier this year. The Rams go in Tampa Bay and beat them again. Point
and
blank and
that's
period.
exactly
Simple
what
as
I
that.
want. I want Tom Brady to be out. We need somebody new. I'm going for Los Angeles, and Beckham's gonna have a great game.
Right. And I mean, you also think about what's happening with the Buccaneers right now. Bruce Arians is fined $50,000 for his incident on Sunday
And what
for
was that?
hitting. He was hitting. He slapped. And this, when you look back on this, it was like basically, hey, I kind of take it as like, dude, get out of the way and get out. Don't get involved and whatnot. But he slapped a player on the back of the back of the helmet, uh, and was fined $50,000. And now it's interesting because Antonio Brown is trying to use that as leverage and momentum to get him back into an NFL team.
Hmm.
So
No,
I thought that was pretty interesting.
that's chump change to him though. That ain't gonna
Listen,
affect him.
$50,000 though, like that's a lot of money.
To
I'm
us,
sorry,
definitely.
that's a lot of money. I'm sorry. Can you like give me your stimulus? Like just give me 1 month of your pay, and I'll be good for life.
Definitely.
Like just think, like you really think about, like you really think about how much they get paid, and you add all that up. That is ridiculous. You wonder why we have poverty.
Right.
You wonder why there's homeless people on the streets.
It's because of the NFL.
Well, it's because of sports playing them ridiculous amount of money. I mean, listen, it's not my fault if you can't manage your money well. I mean, who do you? Is it that necessary to get the fancy cars and the fancy bling and all this stuff?
Mm. No,
No,
I think
not
that's
at all.
unnecessary.
Like, don't get me wrong. I don't know. I mean, I know I say this because I don't have the money, but like, just give me a car. Give me an okay house. Like, I don't need a mansion. What am I gonna do with 98 rooms? Like, like a perfect situation, I would have a room for me, a room for my girls, and probably a studio room, and then a living room. That's it.
I mean, you have 98 rooms. I mean, you can have a room decorated in every NFL team.
And baseball team and NBA public all combined, and still have a couple extra rooms to spare. Like this is just, oh my goodness, this is like,
That's
yeah, I
ridiculous.
don't know, I'm like, dude, $50,000. That's a lot of money. But I'm choosing the Rams. I think that there's a
That's
little bit going on. I think also you got to give credit where credit's due. Matt Stafford winning his first playoff game, in his career, well deserved. I think that goes stretches on a little further. I mean, I would be honest with you. I said this back in the middle of the year. I would digress that the Rams probably have a really good chance of making it to the playoffs. We all thought that maybe Odell Beckham Jr. and Von Miller wasn't necessarily a great trade. Okay, you also got Eric Weddle that you picked up also that he's played a few downs already, and then also on top of that, I mean, they turn out to be really good pickups and advancement, and they were going all out. They got nothing left. They got nothing for next year. They don't have no draft picks. They got nothing left. This is a do or die situation, and I think that the Rams have a little bit more to fight for. I think that with the AB situation, some guys are hurt on the Buccaneers side, so I'm giving it to the Rams. Let's take it to the AFC here because we have the Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. Nighttime game on Sunday. Number 3 Bills, number 2 Chiefs. I know it's an Arrowhead Stadium, but you telling me that the way that we saw Buffalo play, here's also one last point I want to make also. The Rams beat the Cardinals, which was a
Hmm.
better playoff team than the Buccaneers beating the Eagles last week that didn't even deserve to be in the playoffs.
And Bills
Just think on
for
that.
destroying the Patriots.
Right. But
Are they going to be able to?
the way they destroyed the Patriots is the way that everyone thought that they were going to be in the playoffs. So, Jake picks the Bills. I'm picking the Bills. AFC, I'm going Bills all the way.
Hmm. I'm gonna pick Kansas City. I'm not gonna look past Patrick Mahomes. I think it's gonna be
I just don't see Patrick Mahomes being. I don't know if the Chiefs are back to the level that they are at to begin with. Like they're not Super Bowl ready, contenders.
I'm sticking with Kansas.
All right. I mean, that's a selection. You're taking that risk. I'm just, yeah, that's the way I see about that. I think the Bills. I think what you saw to the Bills last week is going to carry on. So
We're about to find out.
we will. Last but not least, the game that you want to talk about: the Bengals and the Titans.
Do I have to do an up close logo?
I can't see nothing. I can't see a single thing. I only see black and a different color. I see is that NFL up top? I mean, okay, that is it's a white Bengal tiger.
No.
No, okay,
Orange.
well. All right. So what's going on with this game for you?
Ah. All I gotta say is, all week long, Tennessee's gonna win. Tennessee's gonna dominate the Bengals. Do not count out the Bengals. We're underdogs going into this game. The last game Bengals played against Tennessee last year, we were 2-11. We had a backup quarterback. Joe Burrow was injured. We did not have Chase. And we still beat them. We beat them 31-20. And for
even
them,
with Henry Ruggs returning.
yeah. I mean, Henry was even. I heard Henry was even in that game last game that we beat them.
When was his last game played at?
I believe it was Cincinnati.
I know,
But
when? Was it last season? 2 years ago?
I believe it was last season because I heard.
So this is a different team. This is a different Titans team than it was last year.
That's okay. And the Bengals are a different team. We got Chase. Right. We got Burrow.
Okay.
We got a dangerous duo of Joe and Chase.
Okay. Now I don't know. I don't know if Jake's doing this just because he doesn't want to root for your Bengals. He picks the Titans. If you're asking me for my honest opinion, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna root for the Bengals. Hold on, wait. What?
Are you surprised me?
Well, no, hold on. Listen to me. Listen to me. Are you on YouTube over there? Is someone on YouTube watching us
No,
on YouTube?
Courtney is.
Oh well, because I could hear us in the background,
Mm-hmm.
and it's relaying onto our YouTube live, so you could hear us also.
So it's not right.
Um. All right. I am gonna sit here and I'm gonna root for the Bengals. That's what I'm gonna root for. But I'm gonna play it in a betting. I'm gonna think of this as a betting game, and I give the points to the Titans. So I took a risk on the 49ers, and that was the game I'm taking the risk on. Because if I think any team that can upset their opponent is going to be the 49ers over the Packers. Now, that's a big risk.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm putting down my name on the Titans. Just know I am hoping that the Bengals pull off a victory. Because there is a lot more to fight for. I feel like there's a little bit more for the Bengals. I mean, just like you mentioned to me last night, Joe Burrow is not just coming out here and saying, "Hey," he's coming out here and establishing his name, engraving for the first time, saying, "Listen, this is the new expectation for the Bengals. At least while I'm here, is the
Mm-hmm.
playoffs. We don't just satisfy, but we're not just satisfied with the playoffs. We need to win a Super Bowl." They never won a Super Bowl. And with the franchise that they have moving forward, I'm not saying that the Bengals will win this year, because if they do overcome the Titans, you're going to have to overcome a playoff Chiefs team. Because in order for the Chiefs to win, they're going to have to play playoff caliber football, right? They're going to have to
Mm-hmm.
prove to everyone Sunday night against the Bills why they were to back to the Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the Chiefs beat the Bills, then you're going to see a dominant Chiefs team. But any team besides the Bills, and but if the Bills win against the Chiefs, then I think there's a lot of momentum for the Bills to have a chance at the Super Bowl. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's the Bills or it's the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl or going to the Super Bowl, representing AFC. Now, I think I'm going with the betting version, and people who are betting on FanDuel and DraftKings and all that stuff, they're going to choose the Titans because that is what a lot of people are counting on. I am going to go that route to get the point, but I'm going to root at home on my couch with a beer in my hand and some nachos and some wings. I'm going to root the Bengals. Is that fair enough?
That's fair enough, I guess.
That's
Um,
as fair as you're going to get it.
no,
So yeah, so I just the risk I'm taking is the 49ers. I'm pretty confident in the other 3 games. That's for me.
no. Day after day after day, leading up to the Bengals versus Kansas. Right?
Mhm.
I heard Kansas is gonna stomp all over Cincinnati. Kansas is
Mhm.
gonna do this. Patrick Mahomes is better. Guess what? Cincinnati pulled it off.
But see, I'm not coming. No one. I don't think people are
And
coming in here. I mean, okay, at the beginning of the week, I think people came in here and said, "Yeah, having a week off, having Derrick Henry back, that is going to be good enough to dominate the Bengals." I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be a nice, close game, but you also know how cold it is in Tennessee. It's not as nearly cold up here in Cincinnati than it is in Tennessee right now. I'm not saying that the Bengals don't have a chance. It's not going to be a blowout game. It's not going to be a one-decided game. The Tennessee ain't going to come in here and dominate. Neither the Bengals are going to come in here and dominate. But I think with the week off, with the amount of health, and you also think about it, there is a high percentage of the bye team home game. There is a high percentage that home teams win this week. And you think about this. I'm going 3 road games. There is a 72% chance in the divisional series that home teams win. And I got to choose one of the 2 first-round buys on top of that.
Sorry, that was Courtney's boss. Didn't think I was going to do that because it's on freaking Do Not Disturb. But me, I think the Bengals are going to win by a touchdown.
Right. I don't think it's going to be less than more than 7 points.
Like you said, the Bengals aren't going to come and dominate. Tennessee's not going to dominate. It's going to be a close game, but do not count out my Bengals. They're hungry. Absolutely. They're the best they've ever been in a long time. Our quarterback is very, very confident. He's got multiple dangerous weapons out there.
Right.
If they double team Chase, that means there's other star players open.
Yeah. Higgins, Mixon. I mean, there's so many people.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good series. It's going to be fun because when we come back tomorrow night, we get to finally talk about what happened in the game. All right, let's do this. Let's take away our last break, come back, wrap up the show, and get ready for the rest of our day.
Yeah, sound good? I've got 2 questions for you, too.
All right, let's do that after we come back from the break.
Yep.
I'm somewhere in the middle, try to find myself again. But life is one big riddle of the future and what's been. Guess it's the way it goes, and I will never know why you let me go. Look to the left, look to the right, nothing can stop me in the night, like I am leaving all the bad stuff and trying to remain so strong. I know it's good if I'm alone. I gotta go, 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 running to better times. Go, 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 from my emotions I'll go, 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 running to better times, 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 to better times. Remember I was laughing in all the photos that you took, but now it looks like acting, like we were fiction in a book. Guess it's the way it goes, and I will never know why you let me go. Look to the left, look to the right, nothing can stop me in the night, like I am leaving all the bad stuff and trying to remain so strong. I know it's good if I'm alone. I gotta go, 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 running to better times. Go, 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 from my emotions I'll go, 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 running to better times, to better times, to better times, to better
Ray gun off safety.
Here, babe.
My girl so tasty.
Take this.
Tell her it's your world. She want the two-tone spaceship. Blow smoke screen daily. So the stress don't fade me. I'm going.
Alrighty, you ready to finish the show?
I'm on sabbatical.
Oh, shoot.
I'm
I
out
need
in
that
Central
there.
America.
Yeah.
I need a break from hysteria. Park like the one with the carousel. I get it lit in your area. I'm locked to the vision, it couldn't be clear. You couldn't pay me to care enough. I dare you to hate me supreme with the sound through the stereo. So turn it up loud when you hearing us. We live and it's good in your area. My mama crash, she tearing up and it's going down. Got your girl aroused by these massive stacks like 100 pounds. Running big laps till the sun is down like 100 miles. Tinted frames on me leaning down. Winning now. Been a while, you ain't like me then, but how you like me now? Real one, if I hold you down, I'ma keep it there till we in the ground. Jet black when I paint.
Alrighty, you guys welcome back. Can you hear me clearly?
Yep.
Trey, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
We
So, a
good.
matter of fact, I took you off of my screen so you can't see me because I have a surprise for you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And this is just for you, and this is just for you this weekend. This is just for you. This is the only time you're going to see me wear this.
Must be Bengals.
You can see me though.
I cannot see you.
Well, now you can.
Oh. Alex.
This is the only time you're going to see me wear this. You're not going to see me wear this again.
Why not?
This is the only time.
It's a good team to support.
Yeah, but I'm a Rams fan.
You know
And
what?
I'm wearing a Bengals beanie. I mean, also,
what?
I also wear the lanyard, the Bengals lanyard. I don't do that. Come on, man.
You know what? This is what I'm going to say to people when the Bengals start getting more success.
I'm not, listen, here's the thing. I'm not going after, well, okay, what are you going to tell people? What are you going to say?
Don't be a bandwagon. No. If your team sucks or is not doing good, don't jump
Okay.
on the Bengals bandwagon.
You're right. Listen, but here's the thing. I'm not sitting here and bashing the Bengals like a Jake would do.
Right?
I am keeping it even down the road. Although I am a Rams fan, I support the Rams. I will support the Rams. I will also support the Bengals. I'm a bigger Rams fan than I am a Bengals fan. I will support the Rams because that's the team that I gravitated to when the Chargers left. I could have went to the Niners, but then they lost at the Super Bowl. I was like, no, I was in the mix of finding a new team. I went with the Rams, and that's what I did. And going to the Rams, and that's what I'm going to be, at least for quite some time. Now, does that mean that I don't support the Bengals or, do I not like how the 49ers play? No, that's fine. I will keep it an open conversation with you. I will keep it a mediator. I am to consider your mediator between you and Jake while you two battle about who's better, the Steelers or the Bengals. You got to have somebody on this show to keep an open mind about the conversations we have and have a non-biased opinion. Although I'm betting against the Buccaneers because the Rams are playing, I honestly feel with how the Rams played on Monday night is better than how the Buccaneers feel. But let's be honest, the Rams and Buccaneers are an even playing field. Right now, the Bengals and the Titans are an even playing field. There is not a bad game this weekend. I don't see any blowouts, but yet again, if I do have to call a blowout, the only blowout I see is if Jimmy Garoppolo does not perform in Green Bay because it's 2 degrees outside and because he has a torn thumb and a partial separated shoulder. That's the only person that I see. That's the only game I see that's going to have a downfall. That's the buck that the Packers could run away with. But otherwise, it's going to be it's a toss-up for every game.
Definitely.
Would I like to see the Bengals go to the AFC Championship? Yeah. Let's move forward. Do I think that they're going to actually beat the Bills or the Chiefs? No. I'm going to be honest with you. No. I mean, but keep that open optimistic too. I mean, do I really think I'm rooting for the Rams? That's why I'm selecting the Rams. Do I think that they're going to beat the Buccaneers? Possibly. Do I think that they're going to beat the Packers? I don't really think so. If they make it to them, do I think that they could beat the do I think they could beat the 49ers? 49ers? Yeah. Of course. See, and I want to get to your two questions before we leave, but Armchair Booking said, "Hey, someone once told me that you should always root for the local team to win because it helps the economy." Listen, I root for the Bengals. I live in the regional area for the Bengals to root for, but that's not my home team. My home team is the San Diego Chargers. There's the San Diego Chargers up and left. I gravitated to the Rams because I don't like Dean Spanos. I'm sorry, I never have and I never will. He up and sold and moved to LA, and it didn't work out for either of them. Now, if there's a team that goes back to San Diego, yeah, maybe I'll root for them. But right now, I'm on the Rams. But do I not support the Bengals? I support the Bengals. I do. I don't think I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. If they're good or bad, I'm not gonna bullshit you. But I will. I'm gonna, if I think that they're gonna win, I think they're gonna win. And I voted for them last week against the Raiders, and I've been rooting them all season. I wanted them to have a successful year.
And he, Armchair Booking, he's a Raiders fan. He ain't no Bengals fan.
Does he? But, okay, so he roots for the Raiders, but does he not still support the Bengals? Probably.
I guess.
Can't you not have a diehard team and live somewhere else and then just root for that team that's in the local area? Are you not entitled to that? Like, do you just, there could only be one team? If there's only one team, I'm sorry, but the Rams are my team then.
Don't be a bandwagon jumper.
But am I a bandwagon jumper for supporting a team for based off how they're actually performing, or because I'm not all decked out? Yeah, I mean, I'm wearing memorabilia. I'm wearing merchandise from them. Yeah, I'll go buy. I want to collect all the pennants and all the lanyards for every team. Does that make me a bandwagon?
No.
No, because my original team is the Rams. But I support the teams that play well, and the Bengals play well.
All I could say is go Bengals.
You got two quick questions. Ask them for me. Let me give you my thoughts.
I honestly don't even think we have enough time.
Okay. You want to save it for the first thing tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so.
Are they football questions or wrestling questions?
They're football.
Are they about the Bengals?
No.
Okay.
So
let's save it. Let's open up the show tomorrow with those.
Yeah, I don't think 3 minutes is going to be enough time to answer these questions. So originally, it was supposed to be one question for you, one question for Jake. But if you're on, he's not, I'm going to ask you both. Because this is literally nothing. It's something that I don't understand.
Okay. Well, we'll both be here tomorrow. Well, hopefully we'll both be here tomorrow. I know I'll be here. Listen, Armchair Booking said here, I'll support the team, but I'll never wear the merchandise. Okay, that's your choice. I think that's a choice that you want to do, and I'm not going to stop you from doing that. That's fine. I'm not saying you got to wear the Bengals merchandise. I mean, Trey's not making me wear the merchandise, but I had it laying around. I've had it for years. I mean, it's not even. I don't even think it's mine. I think it's Kaylee's, but But listen, I mean, it's just that's why I only wore this once because I support a good team, and although I think the Titans are going to win, I also think that the Bengals have a really good chance of holding their own and be surprise people. So, I mean, we'll see.
And I can honestly say right now, remember, I was not supposed to be on February 26th due to other obligations. I'm officially back on the show that day.
Oh my goodness!
It actually got canceled.
You guys had to pull that. Oh, actually, good, cool. Like, well, not good, but cool. Like, to be back on here because we're gonna be doing some more because we got NW on the 5th and then the 26th and then Rumble next Saturday. So there's gonna be a lot of times we'll be doing from 1 to 3. All right. Hey, laid back show on a Friday. I loved it. You guys, wonderful. Thank you for tuning in, Trey. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, you guys. Got an interesting story for you guys tomorrow, real quick. Megan Fox and Michelle Gun Kelly. Oh, Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah. Machine Gun Kelly.
And remember, to all the viewers, go Bengals.
Oh, my goodness. On behalf of Trey, Jake, and I, you guys have yourself a wonderful day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.
Bye.